Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back. It's Thursday. I'll be teaching today, Megan with Ocean Rehab and Fitness. We're going to be alternating a couple weeks here with the lovely Coach Sierra. So you had her last week and she'll probably be here next week. But I'm here today, so welcome. Today's workout is going to be a focus on some shoulder activation, which can also be thought of as for anybody that's in a chair and has a lower core function. You can also think of that as part of your core, okay? Because we use a lot of our shoulders to balance and use our movement from our upper torso since we don't have that lower core function. So core function or core activation / shoulder activation for those of you that are ambulatory or a lower level injury. And we're going to be working on some hinging, which will also translate to core function for the people that don't have that full core function. And then we're going to be doing a bit of punching. So I'm going to be giving some alternatives today because Stephanie says the reason I have not shared. Okay, Stephanie, maybe Michelle can talk to you about that today if there's a reason why you can't get them. I'm going to be giving a couple alternates today because I know some of you in here have some shoulder injuries. So we are punching and we are going to be doing stuff, but I'm going to try and keep things away from overhead today. And then I'll give some alternatives for those of you that need it, okay? And if somebody wants to take something overhead or they want something to be more challenging today, just let me know and I'll give it to you. But I'm going to try and work within the frame of the people I know in here. And I know there's a few shoulder things happening. So all right, hi Neil, glad to be back too. Okay, so for equipment today, because we're doing some alternatives, it's gonna look like I have a lot of equipment, but it's just because I'm gonna show you, like you can use this or this. So 2 soup cans, okay, or light weights. Or if you have shoulder problems or a shoulder injury right now, you could use no weight, that's totally fine. I myself will be demonstrating with lighter weight today or a ball. So this is the other alternative. We might want to use a ball today. It can be just a bender ball is great. A small pillow, something like that. Just something that we don't want to do this. We want to have a little more space for our shoulders. So something that's your hands aren't touching on the ends of it, okay, and quite light. You can even use the ends of a water bottle if that suits you. Okay, and then a band, preferably like medium to light, okay. This is going to be for some of our punching and then our shoulder external rotations. If you have more than one level of band, go ahead and have both of them handy. And then last but not least, our trusty dowel, okay? Wider than your shoulders. Make sure that it is light. I know some of us now have body bars, so no body bar today. This should just be a light dowel, okay? All right, so I'll give you a couple seconds to get that, and we're gonna get started with our breathing, okay? So we're gonna have our hand on our diaphragm, and then we're gonna have our other hand on our belly, okay? So low belly and then diaphragm here, okay? So what I want us to feel is a big inhale. I want you to feel both of this, the whole belly, like from diaphragm to the low belly, expand. So on your inhale, everything expands, so you feel the rib cage. And then as we exhale, I actually want you to actively pull your belly button, your low belly, into the spine, so back. So as we exhale, everything in there is going to compress in towards your spine. This isn't easy, so give yourself a few rounds to get this, okay? So we're going to go inhale, exhale, draw that belly button in. We're going to do about 10 here, okay? Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. This can be through your nose or mouth, totally up to you. Inhale and exhale and inhale. So your exhale should feel a little bit like work. Exhale. 4 more together. Inhale and exhale, and inhale. Make sure you're sitting tall. Exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and relax. Beautiful. Okay, coming up, we're going to do some release work, just opening up in those pecs a little bit. So if you're female and you have breast tissue, make sure you're going in and around. Okay, there's actually, I posted a pretty good video on YouTube about this. So if you need a little bit more assistance or more guidance on this, I use a lacrosse ball, and you can go follow that, and you can even follow it without a lacrosse ball. You can do it with your hands. So make sure you're getting in and around, finding that tender area, or maybe area that it feels tight, or like a guitar string, or maybe it's rock hard. I would doubt if you're not tight here, okay? Unless you just had like an hour of IMS, or most of us in here are gonna be pretty tight here. So make sure you're getting in, finding the area. We wanna be able to make it feel like almost just very movable. We wanna be able to move everything in there. It shouldn't be a rock, okay? Then coming from there, we can move right away up into the trap. And we're not going to be doing overhead work like I said today, but we still want to get this going. So I'm just supporting my elbow, and we're just doing like a seesaw motion right up in the neck here. And you can go right up into the neck and then right along the top of the shoulder. So whatever feels, well, whatever feels not good, but whatever feels like you need to be there the most, okay? If you've recently had injections, I know maybe Mariana, just make sure you're not doing this too much or too intensely, okay? But if you are good to go, I would recommend getting in a little bit firmly in here so that you can make a bit of a difference for our movement session here today. Okay, excellent. Other side, so just shake that out. We're gonna go into the pecs here and just match the other side before we get moving. Okay, people coming in late, welcome. I see a couple new names in here. That's fabulous. Just follow along. If anybody has any questions or comments, as a reminder, just shoot it in the chat and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Okay, and then coming up into that trap, supporting the elbow if you need to, just seesawing forward and back. Getting deep in there, making a bit of a difference. Okay, trying to get some movement. It's really like a really good way to, if you're not sure what you're doing here, to like find this area, try this, and then go somewhere like the muscle here where you know it's not going to be quite so tight, and notice the difference. This, we want to try and get moving like this. And most of us will feel a major difference. I do. This should, see how loose and nice this is? We want to try and get this to be like that. Okay. All right. Good. From there, we're just going to roll the head. So we're going to think of leading with our nose. We're going to do a half circle. And then just to the other side. So almost like I'm pointing diagonally up with my nose. Down, making a half circle. Up and down, making a half circle, and up and down, making a half circle, up and down, making a half circle. Let's do two more here. This is 1 and 1. Last set, 2 and 2. Good. Now we're going to take it right away. One hand on the shoulder. We're going to do a big circle with the elbow. 1 and 2, 3. So the elbow's painting a circle in space. 5 coming forward. 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to reverse it. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Other side coming forward for 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, This is 10, reversing it other way, nice and big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's 10. Now we're going to do shoulder rolls coming forward for 1. So that was elbow, and now we're doing the shoulders. So the arms are just relaxing at your sides. And we're trying to touch those ears with our shoulders. Nice and big circles. 7, this is 8, 9, and then we reverse it, reversing it for 1, and 2, 3, and 4. This is 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, and 10. We're going to reach out and up, over, arc above the head, reach up and over to the other side. So not up to the ceiling today. We're reaching out and away. And then big, trying to make a shape in space, trying to make yourself really big. Take up all the space you can. Reach. Beautiful. And other side. Nice big stretch. For some of us, this is our first movement session of the day. So get nice and big, juicy movement in here. Get blood flow to those muscles, stretch the fascia out. You might even feel this coming down into your hip. If you do, that's fabulous. That means we're getting right into that hip flexor. Awesome. And again, reach. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to do 2 more here together and reach up and over. And again, this feels really nice to me. And over, nice. And now we're going to come over. You're going to rotate, look over your head and tap, or sorry, over your shoulder. And tap. And again, tap. Try and rotate through the belly button here. That's it. And tap. Keeping those feet solid on the ground. So we're not just twisting in those hips. Let's do 2 more here, everybody. This is 1. And this is 2. Good. Now we're going to reach up to the ceiling and switch. If this doesn't fit for you, then you can just do an opening here and hug, and we'll meet you there in a second. Up and switch. We're going to go to hugs next. And up. All of these movements are found on Ocean Insider Club. So if you are an Ocean Insider Club member, which a lot of you are, these are all found on there. So I'll try and use all the names in case you need to go look them up later. Or in case they're a part of your workout that you're following, you know exactly what it is. Okay, now we reach out, arms out, make sure your fingers are big and spread, and then hug. And then we do that again. You're gonna switch your top arm. Okay, really important that we get stretch right through to the fingers. Okay, all the way out. All the way out, if you can, of course. And reach. And reach. Nice. 2 more. Reach. And reach. And awesome. Good. Okay, we're going to get into some hinging. So we're all going to grab our dowel unless you are like a higher level injury. So if you're in a power chair, or you usually need a chest strap, I would recommend no dowel. Okay, so I'm going to show 2 versions. So if you're using the dowel, we're going to have the dowel pressed right up against our chest. So we're pulling the dowel up to us. Okay, and I'm actually just going to turn sideways so that everybody can see what I'm doing. So dowel is right up to my chest, elbows back, and now I'm going to hinge from my hip. So from my hips, I'm going to hinge forward. So I'm tipping forward with a nice long spine. And then I'm pulling myself back up to sitting tall. Okay. So from up here, I'm hinging forward. Notice how my spine is nice and long. So this is nice and flat. And I'm looking forward, obviously, and then come on up. So tipping forward, pulling that dowel across your chest, and then come on up. Okay, your tip might not be as big as mine, and that's okay. Maybe we're here, and then we come back up. I don't care how big it is, as long as we're hinging from here. What I don't want to see is this. I don't want to see us round. So if you are true to keeping this dowel across your chest, you will not round your spine. Okay. Version 2, if you're a higher level injury, or you have a compromised core, put something on your lap, whether it be like a ball or a blanket or something. And you're actually going to use your hands. So you're going to walk your hands forward and try and get your long spine that way. Go as far as you can without rounding in the spine. And then you're going to walk your hands back up your lap. Okay. So we walk forward, go as far as you can without rounding in that spine, and then slowly come back up. Okay. So hopefully everybody's clear with that. You know which variation you're going to do. Okay, here we go. Let's do 10 together if you're walking your hands down. Otherwise, I'm actually going to go for 15 because some of us do this and take a little bit more time, which is fine. Okay, so you're just going to do this basically until I'm done. So coming in here, pushing that dowel across your chest, nice and tall. Your eyes are going to go with your body. So we're going to tip forward. You can even think of pushing into your feet to come right back up to sitting tall. And here we go, hinging. So these are hinges and up. So this is part of your core. Those are rectors that run along your spine and keep you sitting tall. So if we have trouble sitting tall as it is, you will find this pretty difficult, I would imagine. And you're going to want to really use that dowel. Okay, or you're going to want to use your hands. Okay, keep going. And squeeze. Very nice. You might even almost, some of you, if you think of pushing your feet into the floor, think of squeezing your glutes to come back up. So if that went over your head and you have never worked with me or you have no idea what I'm talking about, ignore the glute comment. If you work with me on the regular, I want you to think of pushing your feet into the floor and squeeze those glutes to come up. And I promise you, you're going to feel a lot more stability. Okay, good. We're over halfway. Squeeze. And tip. Thinking of the abs drawing in, belly button to the spine. And hinge, that's it. Let's do 4 more together, or whatever you're doing, just keep moving for 4. Pulling that dowel in. 3. And 2. And that's your 1. Beautiful, nice. All right, dowel aside. Hopefully that went okay for everybody. So now we're going to do some shoulder stability, which is also core. So if you, actually, Kim isn't here today, but she gave me a really good, came up with a really cool suggestion that worked for her that I would love to share with you. So we're going to be doing some shoulder stuff here. So I like to have my hand on my shoulder so that we can feel what we're doing. Okay, if that doesn't work for you, what you're going to do is wheel up to a table. So let's say this dowel is a table, and you're going to have your hand on the table. So then you can do this activation work, and you don't have to worry about holding your hand up here. Okay, so if that works for you or that entices you, and you think you might do a better job with that, I highly recommend wheeling up to a table. Or remember that for later when you can go back to this video and do this on your own. Okay. So hand is either resting on a tabletop or our arm is out and our hand is on our shoulder. Okay. So what I want you to do is think of someone's pulling your wrist forward. So it's as if someone's pulling that wrist, and it's going to look like this. It's going to yank your shoulder forward. So you see how my whole shoulder blade is like coming out on my back. And then I want you to think of someone's like pushing it back in. So now it gets pulled back. So now you can see the ridge of my shoulder blade now. Okay, so someone pulls and someone pulls. Someone pulls and someone pulls. And I want you to have your hand here if you can, so that you can feel that shoulder blade moving. Okay, here we go. So just try this. I'm actually not going to really count for you. I just want everybody to get the sensation of this. I'll just do a few. Okay, so you can see, if you're confused, you can see the ridge of my shoulder blade now, and then see it disappears because it's up here and now it's back. So that's what we're going for. Okay, so movement of that shoulder. Okay, once you've done a few of those, shake it out, and then we'll try the other side. If you're at a table, you would just switch arms. Okay, so we're here. Okay, so I'm going to start just like this so you can see what I'm doing. So it's as if someone's pulling our arm forward, shoulder blade juts forward, and then it's as if someone's pulling it back into its place. So push and pull, that's it, and have your hand there. Push so that you can feel it. Pull. Push and pull. That's it. Push and pull. I'm going to do about 6 more. 1, do what you can. This stuff's tough. Don't get frustrated, but this will pay off. This is that tiny little stabilizers that we need to wake up and get working, because this will improve your core and or decrease and help with any shoulder pain or injuries that you have. That's it. The more function and control we have over our shoulders, the better. And done. Good. Awesome. Okay, now that we've done that, let's move on into some of our circuits. So get a sip of water. I want you to grab your band, the lighter band for now. Have your dowel handy, and then we'll talk about the rest after. Okay, so our first thing is going to be a banded external shoulder rotation. So this is a pretty common one we do in this class. Elbows are going to be in at the ribs. My thumbs are hitchhiking outward. My palms are up. Okay. Abs are drawn in. Okay. And we want to think of breaking the band like we're going to pull it apart and then back in. Okay. Feet are on the floor or on your foot plates, and we're as tall as can be. Here we go. We're going to do 12 together. Let's go. 1 and 2. Think of the movement leading from your shoulder blades. And 4. That's it. 5 and 6. 7, 8, 9. Good. This is 10. 2 more. 11 and 12. Just 12 there. Beautiful. Okay. Around the world. This is one where if you have shoulder pain, I don't want you going as high. So around the world means around, it goes above the world, which in this case is our head. Okay, so my hands just go straight up and straight down, or you can take it up through and then down if we have a balance challenge here. If you have pain when you reach, like, say here, I don't want you to go that high. I just want you to work in down here and then all the way down to your lap. Okay, maybe your pain is down here. So then I want you to start here and just work in the higher range. Okay, basically in this movement, no matter what arc you're doing, there shouldn't be any shoulder pain. Okay, if it's like a range of motion issue where it's just like, like you can't get the arms up and there's no actual like sharp or shooting pain, but it's more of like a tightness or just a weakness, don't worry about it. I want you to push through that. Okay, it's more if there's a sharp like injury pain. Okay, here we go. 12. Come on up and down. That's it. 2. And 4. Good. Think of lifting under those armpits, air under those armpits as you lift the dowel. That's it. And 10. Last 2 here. And excellent. Good. Okay, put that aside. You're either going to grab your cans or your light weights, or you can grab a ball or nothing. I'm giving all these options. We're going to do a punch and we're going to rotate as we do it. So if you're using the ball, you're going to let go with, or sorry, you're not going to let go. You're going to rotate and you're going to punch to one side and then come back. Punch to one side and come back. Okay. Version 1. Version 2 is single arm punches with a rotation. So you'll punch the opposite arm and come back. Okay. Version 3 is no weight. Okay. So everybody decide what you want to do. I'm going to show with the ball. Here we go. This is 10 each side, so we're doing 20. Actually, let's do 24, so we're keeping it even. Everything's 12. Here we go. 3, 2, and go. Punch and in. Punch and in. Nice and quick if you can. Otherwise, you're just going to move at your own pace. Eyes follow your punch. Over halfway. Feet are planted in the floor. There shouldn't be any wiggle parties in the hips here. 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. Okay, that is our first circuit. So decide what you're going to use for that last one. Ball, weights, or nothing. And then we're going to go right back into our external shoulder rotation, around the world, and then our rotational punches. Okay, so get a sip of water if you need it. Comments if you have any, or questions. I'm giving some alternatives today, more than normal. So if you're confused on something, just shoot me a message and we'll go over it, okay? You have 10 seconds and then we're starting. All right, so grabbing your band, getting ready. Here we go. And, oh, hold on, let's do a question. My hips move, should I push in the ground? Yes, good question. So Nicole asked, if my hips move, should I push into the ground more? Absolutely. If your hips are moving, it's because we're not having that much, we're not getting the same stability. So if you think of driving the feet into the floor and pull the belly button in, you will absolutely get a little bit more stability. Another trick you can do is if you have a block or a ball, you can hold something here in between your knees. And this is going to help you from doing, because you'll know right away. If we don't have anything here, it's really easy to do this. If we have to squeeze a ball, it's a lot harder to move our hips. So that's what I would recommend for anybody that's not sure. Just throw a block or a ball or a rolled up towel in between your knees. Good question, Nicole. I'm glad you asked that. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. And externally rotate and in. 2 for 12. 3. Try and keep that band low. I see a lot of people doing this and they bring the band up here. Keep it low. Should be like belly button height. That's it. 2 more. And pull, and excellent. Good. Band away or aside around the world. So pick your arc that has no pain. Here we go. Up and down. Think air under those armpits as you lift. Trying to reach the ceiling with that dowel right above the crown of the head, if you can. Nice wide in your collarbone. Over halfway. Two more here, breathing. And relax, beautiful. Okay, put that aside, grab your poison. Ball, nothing, or weights, rotational punches, 24. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. I would exhale on the rotation. Just keep moving, everybody. Do what you can. Counting down, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little break. All right, everybody. We are going to move on today. So you only need to do those just the twice. So grab a sip of water, and then we're going to do a new circuit of 3. And one of them is a new one to this class, unless Coach Sierra did it with you. So the next series, keep your band handy, probably a little heavier band than what you did here. Okay. And then we are going to do, oh, I just heard a weird noise. Everything looks good. And then we're going to do no weights for the rest. Okay. And just a dowel. Okay. So starting with the band. Okay. We're going to do a punch to the front, and it's going to be in this plane. So typically I know the people in here that have shoulder issues, they're okay to punch front. Okay. It's just this overhead business. So you're gonna grab a band, you're gonna pull it around your shoulders. Make sure the band's obviously long enough. If it's not, you're gonna just hold it in at your chest and we're gonna punch like that. So if I'm here, I'm just doing that, okay? But I would, if you can, let's bring it around here. So grip stuff, loop something like this so you can just have it in your hand. If you don't have grip stuff, then don't worry. If you're somebody that actually wants to try and strengthen your grip, which there's actually a few of you in here, I would try grabbing the band like so and punching like that, because that's actually going to help you with those little intrinsic muscles in your hands. Okay, so whatever you decide, I have 2 versions for you. Here we go. We're going to punch 12 on one side, 12 on the other. You can keep it nice and smooth, but I also want to see a little bit of quickness if you can, okay? We're doing 1 arm at a time. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. 2 and 3, 4. If I'm going fast, just do what you can at your own tempo. Two more here. Other side. And 1, 2. Getting tall. 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 2. Boom. And we're doing 1 more set. Here we go. Right. Since we're here. For 12 each side. Two more. And switch. 5, 6, 7. Keep breathing, everybody. And 12 and done. Awesome. Let's leave the band alone for now. Next one is called a Cobra. I haven't actually done this one with you in here. Coach Sierra might have. It is on the website. So there's 2 versions of Cobras. You can do it seated in your chair on the floor. So obviously today we're going to do it seated. So how this is going to work is we're going to have our palms down and the hands are in front of us. So lower than this, but I'm just showing you. So our hands are like right out in front of our thighs. Okay. Some of you know this. And what we're going to do is we're going to externally rotate our thumbs out. So just so you can see my hands, my thumbs are going to go out and away like this, not down. Okay. So out and away. So our hands are down, out and away, and make a big, it's almost like you're going to try and touch them behind your back. And then back to center, okay? So externally rotate those thumbs, squeeze, and then back to center, okay? The biggest, it's not a mistake, but the biggest thing I see with this is that people do all tricep. And what that means is they're extending their elbows so much that all they're feeling is burning back here. So if that's you, take a little bend in your elbows and do the same movement. Rotate, squeeze. What we should be feeling is a lot of work in between the shoulder blades here. It's almost like a scapular squeeze on steroids, okay? So we should be feeling it there, not a burnout in the tricep. I should have just named it that, scapular squeeze on steroids. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna do 10, okay? Here we go. And also note, 10 is a lot, so it's okay if you do 5. Do what you can, okay? Here we go. So up, externally rotate those thumbs out and away, squeeze, and then back to where you started. Externally rotate the thumbs out and away, squeeze those shoulder blades, and then back where you started. Externally rotate, 3, this isn't done fast, okay? We're trying to find that activation in those shoulder blades. Feel a little different from the scap squeezes because our arms aren't at our sides anymore. So it's going to feel a little more concentrated in between the shoulder blades. Okay. I lost count. We'll do 3 more. And squeeze. Good. Thumbs are going out and away. 2. And last time, thumbs are going out and away. 3, and then relax. Awesome. Okay, so that is our, I'm sorry, that's 2 of 3. I didn't give you the last one yet. So now you're gonna have your dowel. Dowel rotation to a punch. So we've done this before. Feet planted, rotate, punch with that opposite arm, bring it back in, and then twist to the other side. Rotate, punch, and in. Okay, getting ready, match me. We're starting in 3, 2, and I'll count this one. 1, 24, 2, 3. This is more of a controlled punch. 6. Keep those hips still. Squeeze that ball in between your knees if you have one. Nice and tall. Eyes can just follow your punch. Breathing. You are halfway here. Excellent, everybody. Keep moving. Today is pretty technical, so good job. I know last week was more of a cardio sesh, so I'm gonna give you some contrast week to week. Nice, everybody. Counting down 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's your 1. Center. Beautiful. All right, that is your circuit of 3. So get water. And then just a friendly reminder, we're starting back at your cable or band punch, Cobras, and then our rotation with a punch with the dowel. Questions or comments are welcome now on the break. Otherwise, we're getting water. Starting in about 10, 15 seconds. Okay, everybody's still here. That's awesome. All right, getting ready. Here we go. Setting up your band. Start on the opposite side this time. Okay, gripping the band if you want a little extra challenge for your grip strength. Sitting up tall. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Boom. That's it. 11 and 12, other side, and get my hand in here. 1, 2, 6, 7, getting taller. 5. Good, and time. Beautiful. Cobras, so you don't need any equipment. 10. This is our last time with our Cobras, don't worry. Here we go. So remember, palms are down, and then thumbs are going to externally rotate. So they're going to go out and away from each other, out and away from each other. Squeeze, have a mini bend in those elbows so we don't burn the triceps out, and back to center. And again, squeeze, and back to center. Good. And again, squeeze, and center. Feel those shoulder blades. Squeeze. Okay, you're halfway here, everybody. And again, squeeze. And again, this is 7. Crown of the head shining to the ceiling. Okay, last 2 here. Squeeze. And again, squeeze. And that's your end with that. Okay, grab your dowel, rotation with a punch. Here we go. 24. Getting nice and tall, abs in, ribs over hips, peach under chin. Here we go. Exhale as you punch. Boom. No stopping in the middle. You can go right to the other side. Controlling. You can have power in your punch if you know you have control over your movement. Exhale. Okay, you're halfway, everybody. That's it. 2 more. And relax. Excellent. Okay. Get a sip of water. We are going to do the rotation with the punch one more time. Okay. And then we're going to move on. We're going to get a little bit of heart rate up. Little bit of heart rates up for this last little bit. So water, we're going to do just this one more time so we can add that third little bit in, and then we're going to move on. Okay, but everything here is from here on out is with the dowel. So if you want to put away your other equipment, that's totally fine. Okay, this next bit is going to be some canoeing. Okay, and just to clarify, I'll clarify when we get there. Canoeing and kayaking, there's a difference. And thank you, Steph, for pointing that out. All right, so if you've had your sip of water, come back to me. One more time here with the rotation punch, okay? Lots of rotating today. I know we just did that, but we're all superstars, so we have it. All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Remember, you don't have to be at my pace. I'm taking a medium pace so that we can try and get everybody on board. Over halfway here. Last 4, 1. Following your eye gaze with the punch. 3 and 4, and you're all done. Beautiful. Okay, so we are going to review, well, we're not going to do kayaks today, but I just want to show you the difference between kayak and canoe to me. So kayaks are going to be when we're rotating sides. Okay, typically I teach it nice and tall, and we're just dipping into the sides, okay? But because we're working on hinging today, we're actually going to do a canoe, which is just off to one side. And for those of you in here that are on the paddling team, this is a bonus for you because we work on this every Monday. So with the canoe, not only are we going to do off to one side only, but we're going to add a hinge. So as I do it, we're going to hinge forward and then back up, almost like we were really trying to drive down into the water. Okay, so if you wear a chest strap, loosen it a little bit. Okay, if your hinge wasn't very big at the beginning of our hinge prep today, your hinge on this won't be very big. You're just going to do what you can to come back to center. Okay, otherwise, if you have full core or you are ambulatory, we are going to do a full hinge forward. Try and hinge. So we're coming from the waist. So your back stays nice and long. Okay. We are going to count 24 on one side. We're going to take a break and then we're going to go 24 on the other side. Okay. Once again, my tempo is a bit different than probably a lot of you, and maybe it's not, but don't worry about the tempo. I just want you to focus on the form. So if you're going super slow, that's fine. If you're speeding it up, that's totally fine. Okay. Here we go. Let's canoe together. 3, 2, and 1. Off to one side, dip into the water and center. Reach and center. Think of showing off a necklace this whole time. So we're never rounding in the spine. Okay, for those of you that have sensation in the bottom of your feet, I want you to push through the floor the whole time, especially on that hinge, just like we did in the beginning in your warm-up. This is 10. Awesome. Breathing. We are halfway here. Driving that dowel. Imagine imaginary well, imagine water, right? Right below, and this is a paddle, and we're driving it into the water. We're trying to make a mile. We'd actually be going in circles unless we had a buddy with us on the other side, which I would hope we would. Wearing masks, of course. Last 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Excellent. I'll give you a couple seconds rest. Whew, and then we're going to go into the other side. You only have to do this once today, okay? Here we go. Other side. So plant those feet, get nice and tall. The more you push into the floor, the easier it's going to be for you, and the more core you're going to activate. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Drive and up. Stay long in that spine, nice and tall. Drive and drive. I'm going to scoot over a little bit so I don't hit my couch. That's it. Breathing. We're almost there, everybody. Really rotate through that belly button. Stay long in that spine. 4 more from here. Ready? Count with me. And 1. And 2. And 3. And that's 4. And take a little break. Beautiful. So that is new. So it's okay if it didn't feel good, because we will eventually get to it again in the future and work on it more. But that is a really good one to incorporate your rotation and your hinge. Okay. So hinging and rotating is a good way to begin your warm-ups if you're going to practice that. So every little thing in the warm-up today had a purpose. Okay. And this is a really good technical video to go back to. It is a little more technical, but I think it's got some really good stuff in there that long-term, when you practice, is going to really pay off for each and every one of you. Okay. So that is it for the strength stuff today. So get a sip of water, and then we're going to meet here, and we're just going to do a rotation to end. So a timed rotation. So rotate. You can have your hands on your thigh or your rim of your chair, and you're going to twist and look over your shoulder. 30 seconds. Here we go. Okay, and slowly unwind gently. Is it normal hinge? Is it normal hinge is different each side? Steph, maybe at the end of this, you can put we can get your speaker on and you can ask me, because I'm not quite sure what you're asking. So just give me 2 minutes. So rotate, other side, everybody. I want to answer that question, Steph. We'll do it after this, because other people might have the same question. Okay, you're on the clock here for 30 seconds. And slowly unwind. Okay, and then just going back to those neck circles. So just nice and gentle. We're just gonna carve a half circle with our nose in space. 1, getting tall. 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 more. Last set. 9, 10, and now take your hands behind you if you can, heart to the ceiling, eyes to the sky, and just stretch those pectorals out. So reach and hold, getting a nice opening in the fronts of the shoulders. Think of arching your back as best as you can, trying to make a C curve out of your back. 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come back to center. Excellent, everybody. All right, if you don't have any questions or comments and you're ready to go, feel free to leave. I appreciate you coming. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.